This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Now, that little piece of music that you heard there was based around a very versatile, very useful and very powerful method of putting a chord sequence together. And today, I want to show you exactly how to do it. Here we go. Okay, let's take a standard common or garden A major chord. Here it is, played as a bar chord at the 5th fret. And what we're going to do is develop the standard little 3-chord trick from that chord, you know, the 1, 4 and 5 chords, which will give us A, D and E, and will look and sound like this. And each one of those 3 major chords has its own relative minor. And the way you find a relative minor is simply go down 3 frets and change the shape to a minor. So A goes down 3 frets and becomes F sharp minor, which is the relative minor of A major. And taking the same approach with the 4 chord, which is the D major, if we move that down 3 frets, we get B minor. And finally, if we take the E major chord, the 5 chord, and move that down 3 frets and turn it into a minor, we get its relative minor, C sharp minor. So we now have 3 major chords, A, D and E, and their relative minors, F sharp minor, B minor and C sharp minor. And if you arrange those chords like this in ascending order, you get the key of A major. Sounds like this. And yes, I know, I didn't mention the G sharp half diminished chord, which is also in the key of A major. Frankly, it's not going to be much use to us in what we're going to do today. And let's face it, most songs in most popular genres of music are based on largely major and minor chords. So, you know, for the majority of the time, you're not really going to be using that chord that much. And what we're going to do now is create a chord sequence that is different to the ones that we've looked at recently where the bass line has been moving. This bass line is going to be entirely static and consist of just one note. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a note that's in this key. Let's take the E note, the bass note of the E major chord, the root note of that chord. And what we're going to do is suspend a bunch of chords from the key of A major over the top of that E root note or E bass note. The reason I chose the E is because it's a nice easy one to do, isn't it? You just thump away on the open 6th string and that provides your static E bass note, and, you know, stick some chords on top of it. Might sound like this. So as you could hear there, that chord sequence that we ended up building at the end of that clip is basically the bones of the A section of that tune that you heard at the top of the video. And what's going on there, as we said, is that you basically got the key of A major, but the chords that you're using from that key are all kind of underpinned by an E bass note. And what this does is it shifts the focus of the key to the 5 chord, the E chord. And when you shift the focus of a key to its 5 chord, you are said to be in the Mixolydian mode. And that's what's going on the A section of that tune. But as you also heard, there's a B section to the tune, and what I did here was literally just randomly, without any rhyme or reason or, kind of thought about it. I just chose another key at random. And I chose the key of G major. And this time what I did was I used the C chord as the focus of the key of G major, basically by playing a C bass note underneath all of the chords from the key of G major that I used. And when you do that, when you focus a key towards its 4 chord, which is what C is in the key of G major, you are said to be in the Lydian mode. So basically you had an A section to the tune, which is in E Mixolydian, which is the key of A major, biased towards its E chord, and a B section to the tune, which is in C Lydian, the key of G major, focused towards its 4 chord, which is C. And you can do this pretty much any time you want to. You can just go, as I said, from any key to any key and just do what pleases your ears. There's no real rules as to which keys are the best ones or the correct ones to go to, and which modes are the correct ones to use. This is, as I say, a very versatile and widely used way of putting something together. Take pretty much any Joe Satriani song, well, lots of them anyway. I'm thinking mainly of a song like Summer Song from the Extremist album. Then you'd get maybe the intro, at least, to Blowing Free by Wishbone Ash. Or, another example would be Kind of Blue by Miles Davis. Kind of Blue, So What from the Kind of Blue album by Miles Davis. What you would do in a jazz setting like that, though, is perhaps a little bit more elaborate. Rather than just thumping away on a single bass note to underpin all the chords, you choose the chord that you want to kind of have as your focus, like we had E major as the focus in the key of A. And rather than just kind of playing that bass note, that root note over and over again, you do a bass line that sort of outlines that chord, but you still put the other chords on top of it, and that gives a much more harmonically sophisticated, jazzy kind of sound to it, but it's still basically the same idea. Tell you what, let's take another look at the chord sequence, at the tune rather, but this time you'll see the chords flashing up on screen as they go by, so that might give you a bit more of an idea as to what's going on and be able to spot it a little bit more easily. And there is, of course, a full tab in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats for that whole thing. That's up on my Patreon page. There's the address, and the link is in the description. I'll tell you what I'll do as well. I'll also include a bass and drums backing track. So you're just going to have the A section, which is just thumping away on an E note, and you can choose any chords you want, as long as those chords come from a key where there is an E note. And you can choose for this B section, which where it's basically a C note bass. You can choose any chords you want as long as they come from a key where there is a C note. See what you can do coming up with your own ideas based on that. And if you want to record some ideas and post some links in the comments to this video, then I'd be most interested in hearing them. Or why not, if you want to just send me the links through Patreon. As I say, all that's up on my Patreon page, and thank you so much to everybody who's supporting me in that manner. Much, much appreciated. I'm truly, truly grateful. And that's pretty much all I've got for you today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video, found it useful, informative, and maybe even a little bit inspiring. And if you have, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not give me a like while you're at it. On Saturday, the usual kind of Saturday tutorial video is going to be about how to play over this particular track, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. It's going to be a good one. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.